Elisha is like all the nice, like, quiet stuff. Elijah's like, if you think of the sassy ones, that's Elijah. Like, oh, maybe your God's taking a poop on the toilet. Like, oh, I love that.
Say poop is
Poop is fine. Poop is fine.
Welcome to the Family Style Podcast, a ministry of Calvary Chapel Palm Harbor. Real life, real faith, family style.
Hello and welcome back to the Family Style Podcast. I am Colby. I'm here with Pastor Ben, one of my other co-hosts, and then we have Joel over here, and then we have two very special guests. Some highly asked for guests in the building. We have the ever so lovely Kiersten and Stevie Funk. How you guys doing today? Oh, wow.
No, this is the first time that Kiersten has been on a mic, because last time, correct, we were in my office, all huddled in there, and you were in the background.
Cozied up.
Hello, my name is Stevie.
I think we talked to her off the camera. She was, but you, yeah.
Yeah, I was like the
peanut gallery.
Ghost Writer.
The Ghost Writer.
Peanut gallery.
Was Miss Carrie in there too?
Yes.
Yes.
We had quite a crew in there.
Yeah, we had a couple fans.
Her and Mom were sitting next to each other in the back.
The heckling. Well, it was a little cooler in my office than it is right now. So
okay.
All right.
We don't have to think about it. Right. Mind over matter, baby.
Hey, what's going on this week? Any highs, any lows, Joel?
So I was doing that Samaritan's Purse compassion thing that you signed us up for with the handing out packets. So it was Ann Wilson. I like a couple of the Ann Wilson songs. She's country and stuff like that.
I signed us up for what was that?
You mentioned it and I did it a while ago now, but I was doing it for Ann Wilson. And there was so many girls your age in cowboy boots and stuff, and I was like, "Why am I here right now?"
I don't even know what Ann. Oh,
she's what's one of her songs?
I think I know what you're talking about.
Let me tell you about my Jesus. He made a way where there ain't no way.
You know that one, Stevie?
Nope.
There was a lot of people your age there.
A single bit of a bell.
I don't know her.
Thank you.
I do remember that. That was a while ago.
I was by myself, and I'm like, I shouldn't have come.
So I know that.
But you were working. You were handing out packets.
I was handing out the packets, so it worked out. But I mean, I had a great time during the concert. So that was definitely the high. But
a lot of people are going to listen.
The low was some of the looks I got.
A lot of people are going to listen, and they're not going to watch the podcast. So for those that aren't watching the podcast, I'm going to describe what's going on your head right now, and then I'm going to give you a chance to explain why. So you have a ball cap on, but it looks like it's inside out.
So they call these a rally cap, and I was helping kids with pickleball today, and they were like, "You should make a rally cap." I think it was for rallying in pickleball, but I don't know.
Nice. I thought a rally cap you put your hat on backwards,
inside out.
Oh, I'm not a baseball person.
Yeah. I do. I think the kids were better at puns than you were. I think rally cap for pickleball is kind of awesome. But yeah, so I guess I'll go with my high and low. Big fat low. Sunday night, I went and watched the Florida Gators basketball team play March Madness, and they lost. And they lost on a last-second shot to the Iowa Hawkeyes, and it was really sad. Dude on Iowa threw a punch and didn't get ejected. But it's fine. I'm not bitter about it. They won the national championship last year. It's fine. It's
hard
fine.
To win 2 in a row.
It's hard to win 2 in a row. And I think my high is honestly on Friday evening. I went to the Texas Roadhouse. Oh my goodness.
The one up in
in Odessa and
the
Trinity.
One.
Oh
yeah.
Man, I mean those rolls I think were delivered straight from heaven's doorsteps or heaven's gates. Man.
Every time I pass that place, no matter what time of day, it is packed.
Oh,
always packed.
It should be. I mean, it's just it's
when you
so
say
good.
is it the flagship? Or is it just
I was just.
Is
it
that
was
not
dramatic
a regular?
effect.
The Texas
no,
Roll?
I mean I went to the one in South Reno, but
yeah,
not here.
It's so
Those
good.
little rolls with that honey butter. Ooh,
I'll tell you what, those rolls I had on Friday evening, they were not little. They were big stinking rolls too.
From Texas.
Honey butter.
Woo, Texas size rolls.
Honey butter. Well, I'll go next. I would say my high is. It sounds weird, but just let me get it all out first. Is the women's conference, going to the women's conference, and the food that was there. Joel, you were there, right?
Oh, it's always the best, man. Greek City.
30-some, Greek City, yes, but there was 30 feet of homemade desserts and sweets and all that stuff. I got a headache afterwards.
I got a strawberry pound cake or something.
You were there, that's right, Stevie.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So
Like he
good.
said, delivered from
So
Heaven's
good.
Gate.
So good. Gluten-free, vegan, they had it all, and it was all delicious. All right, how about the Funk Girls? What's your highs, what's your lows this week?
I was gonna say my high is we're homeschooling this year. If anybody didn't know, and I just had a math test today, and it did go pretty well. So that's one of my highs, as well as the women's conference.
High for the teacher too.
As well as the women's conference. I really like that.
Was that your first women's conference?
I think so.
I think so.
But I don't really think I have any glows.
That's okay. You don't have to do both. You can just do
That's a good
one. So
thing.
that's good.
That's
Yeah.
a very
yeah.
good
Everyone
thing.
keeps talking about the women's conference. I mean, I was there. That was my high too. But I will say I don't really fancy myself being like an overnight adventurer. I like my space. I like my bed. Those sorts of things. So to have the women's conference this year, not really a retreat, was a huge blessing for me to be able to be included in that. So for those who are in charge, maybe next year you can do another conference.
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Well, I do know that one of the main leaders does listen quite religiously to this podcast, so I'm sure she will hear that. So yeah. All right, Joel. You know what's next?
The
Professor!
proverb of the day. So today's proverb conveniently is Proverbs 24:24. He who says to the wicked, "You are righteous," him the people will curse. Nations will abhor him, and those who rebuke the wicked will have delight, and a good blessing will come upon them. So what I kind of was thinking about with that is to tell somebody who's doing something wrong, you're doing something right, is to, really send them straight to hell. Like we need to be willing to correct people when correction is due. Like we can't always, pat people on the back and just say they're all right. Like sometimes there is a wrong that's happening, and a right needs to be addressed there in that moment. Otherwise, we're lying. We're just as bad as them.
Very well said.
And if you're playing Proverbs Bingo, that was 2 wickeds, 1 righteous, and a blessed.
I was thinking about that when he was talking about the professor, or about the proverb, and I was like, this is still a genius idea.
Did you guys hear our idea?
I did.
Is it not
I think it's
awesome?
fantastic.
I think I'm like,
What's the price?
we'll start. For first 50 sales, free.
There
Just
you
spread
go.
the word. Yeah.
Spread the word.
No, honest, I think I'm onto something. But anyways, I do think it's, to go back to the serious stuff, Joel. I think it's a very, very hard balance as Christians to correct, but also be loving, but like you said, it is the loving thing to correct people and to preach the correct doctrine and point people to what's right. But it's a hard balance of doing that, also be loving, not being a thumper. It's hard. I think it's harder than it really has ever been with the amount of ways you can communicate with people as well.
And you hear those analogies that people will give of like, if somebody had cancer, you would be wrong not to tell them that they had cancer. So it's like, how do you do that in a loving nature?
Yeah.
It is a loving thing to do, to rebuke somebody in the right time.
You think of the other proverbs where it's like a good father is willing to correct his children.
And I think
in the same way with your friends.
Our society makes it even worse because everybody's so easily offended now. Everybody's been so affirmed and all that stuff that when you do, you just know most likely it's not going to be received well. But a wise man receives a rebuke. So good stuff. Hey, how you guys doing on your reading this week? Anything you want to share? Anything from your Bible reading?
Who, me?
You can go first, Steve, if you want to. We could do girls go first.
Ladies first.
Well, first of all, do you mind sharing? Like, where are you reading? What plan or what are you doing? Are you on a regular system reading?
I do think that we should have done all the way through, or New Testament then, or Old Testament then New Testament, but we are on the New Testament.
That's
then.
good. I like the New Testament.
Yeah, at the beginning of the year, we sat down and talked about all the different reading plans that you guys had put out there. And I asked Stevie what she wanted to do, and she said they focus a lot on the Old Testament in Sunday school. And so she's like, why don't we do New Testament, and try and, connect some dots and make some connections there. And so what book are we in?
We're in Luke.
The Dr. Luke.
Yeah.
Today, we read it every morning before we start our day, and we just read Luke 5 today.
Nice. Now, is that part of your school, or is that just part of
Kind
Being
of.
a funsies.
Funsies.
Yeah.
Kind of.
That's how we start our day.
I would say kind of, because with homeschooling and stuff, I don't have like a Bible subject, like what schools I went to, we would have a sectioned off time for Bible and stuff. So I think that kind of helps.
Oh yeah. So the Dr. Luke. So I always think that whatever gospel I'm reading is my favorite at the time. And so Luke's got some long chapters, but he kind of reads like a story, right? Because he's taking it in.
But like something like Mark is very boom, boom, boom.
Yeah,
boom,
action packed. He moves quick.
Yeah, I like reading Luke. It's more like a story, and I think especially for someone like Stevie or somebody who's maybe reading through, the Gospels for the first time, I think Luke might be a little bit gentler in being able to understand and really pick up a lot of the details where, not to take away from Matthew or Mark, which we've already read, but it can be really easy just to like blast through some of those passages and not slow down and take it in for what it is.
I agree. I was going to say, like, I think Luke is the most easily digestible gospel for sure, because it's written like things normal literature we read all the time, the way it's written out. And again, I think I said this last year when we were in Luke, but like he was like basically like a journalist. Like he wrote like an author would. And if you think Matthew and Mark are bad in terms of like understanding, we're going through John in our Bible study. John's a trip, but it's really, really good. But in terms of, I know John has a lot of good stuff, but it'd be hard to, your first time reading a gospel be John.
Yeah.
I do think Luke might be one of my new favorites.
Nice.
Like my New Testament so far. I do think Old Testament is probably Genesis or Ruth.
Oh yeah.
But
Great.
I love Genesis too.
You know what's fascinating too is that Luke, if we didn't have Luke's writings, then we wouldn't have the nativity scene, because that's where we get a lot of the nativity scene of Jesus'.
That's what I mean. There's a lot of extras, in there, and
Oh, you haven't got that far yet?
Spoiler alert!
reading
Sorry.
through the Gospels leading up to Easter too.
Oh,
Yeah.
Is awesome.
Yeah. So, Stevie, anything in particular in Luke that jumps out? Maybe something you read, or maybe, I don't know if it was this morning. It doesn't have to be this morning, or something that sticks to you?
I think you made your first connection between
Yes.
Old Testament and New Testament, huh?
Oh, really?
yes. Hold on, let me find my little note card.
So, just to FYI, if you're listening and you're not watching right now, Stevie has just pulled out her Chuck Smith Study Bible, and she's going through her notes. And so,
I normally keep it in a case, but I have a keychain on there that would just clank, 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 clank the whole time. But as we were talking about, we just read through Luke, and
What did you guys do on Sunday?
we were reading about Elijah and Elijah, but mainly on Elijah. There's a difference.
Elijah
Ja
and Elisha,
and Sha.
two different guys. Yep, you're
That was
right.
my whole lesson in with the kindergarten through second graders was, all right, there's Elijah, say Ja, now let's say Elisha, and that was a big chunk of it.
You know, I get those guys mixed up all
You
the
just
time.
have to say it really quick, and then you just...
And then nobody
Yeah,
knows.
Hope it's right.
Either or.
Nobody
But-
picks up on it.
We were reading, and I found a verse, and I was like, hold on, pause, I want to write this down because I want to talk about this tomorrow. It's Luke 4, 24 and 25. It says, "Then he said, assuredly, I say to you, no prophet is accepted in his own country. But I tell you truly, many widows were in Israel in the days of Elijah, when the heaven was shut up for 3 years and 6 months, and there was a great famine throughout the land." So I was kind of wanting to touch that as there was a few times. There's one of the books that one of the parts we talked about yesterday with the widowed woman and
Ooh, that's a tongue
Tongue
twister.
twister.
and the oil jar and all that stuff. I think we'll touch up on that topic
And then
later.
Jesus brought it up in Luke. Yeah, so that was
Yeah.
fun to
That is cool.
watch her make that connection of.
That is awesome. That's good stuff, Stevie. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing.
All right, I'll go next. That was a really nice connection, and now I'm going to talk about a section that was very convicting for me. It was Luke chapter 6, actually, and I think you guys might know where I'm going. Look at the speck in your brother's eyes, but do not perceive the plank in your own eye. And every single time I read that, I'm like, man, I do that a lot. You know, I think I'm a very aggressive personality, some might say, and I do. Passionate. Thank you. But I do think that there's a lot of times where, you know, I take a step back and I'm like, man, you know, I'm piling on people. I'm creating all these thoughts and like perspectives and perceptions of other people and what they're doing, what they're supposed to be doing. You know, whether that's random people, whether that's, you know, people I see on the news, whether that's, you know, my loved ones, my friends, my family, whatever it is. Like I think that it's so easy to do that, and it's so easy to distract yourself, and then you're like, man, I did this, and this, and you know, I've struggled, and I've you know, had all these things that I was so wrapped up in others that I just allowed myself to get away with whatever it was, and so I read that, and it's always a kind of like take a step back and think about what you've done type of verse, you know.
I was thinking, you're good, Steve.
I do think I've heard that verse before, and I've thought very heavily on that, and I do think that has helped and put like an impact on me.
I was thinking about that verse with the proverb that we just were talking about. It's like before you go and address that person, is there some of that in your own life? Like they're not going to care unless you care about your own life.
Yeah.
That also kind of does go in similarities of what Brett was teaching about on Sunday in the tongues.
Hey, you're absolutely right, Stevie. Very good. I think that you're going to cost me my job. Oh, that's it. That is exactly it. And if I'm not mistaken, Colby, I don't have the passage in front of me, but it says, before you go to your brother. In other words, that there is a place where you want to go and you want to be able to handle that and help your brother out, but you need to take care of that your own eye first. So
check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Yeah. I'll go next. The Joshua, I think it was last year when we were reading through the other reading plan where it was brought up that it's a picture of Ephesians, the book of Joshua in the book of Ephesians, and it's the Christian life. And so as we were reading through Joshua, and they did the battle of Jericho, and the walls fell down, and then they went against Ai, which is a much smaller city, and they didn't pray, and they had sin in the camp, and then they got their tails kicked. Like 36 guys died, and they were like wrecked. It's because they had stepped out without the Lord. And then Pastor Rhett on Sunday talks about the tongue, and it's like, that's my AI. That's those things that I want to go fight on my own without his help, and I'm getting my butt kicked instead of submitting myself to him and allowing him to do the work, right? So it's part of that Christian life. So I can't wait till we get to the sermon recaps, because it seems to already be happening. That was an intense sermon on Sunday. So
yeah, it's kind of something I caught as well, like just the fear that cripples them in that moment after that defeat. Like they're just like, we can't, like we'd rather let's just go back to Egypt, or let's go back to the wilderness wandering. Like that seemed to work for us pretty well. Like it'd be better than when we get defeated by AI. Like that whole conversation that's taking place in their life, and then the Lord's like, but I have this for you. Like in the midst of your fear, wouldn't you just trust me? It'd be better for you.
I want to say this, and I hope I don't offend anybody, but it's like they are the perfect example of spiritual bipolar. Oh, like 1 minute they're like, and the next minute, and the next. But then if I look at that, I think of myself, and it's like I'm the same. Like, hey, oh.
The flesh is spiritually bipolar. Yeah, that's like the nature of the flesh. Isn't that a crazy thought of how much they moaned and complained about being in the wilderness and not having spices and not having food, and then they're like, you know what? I think it's a good idea to go back to the wandering. I think that's a good one. I think that's what we should do. Did
you guys catch this? Because I don't know how many times I've read this and I never caught this, but like they cross over the Jordan and it says, and then the manna stopped. And I thought about this, like this is legit. Those people that are crossing across the Jordan, their mom and dads were a bunch of whiners, right? They're the ones that didn't go into the promised land. But these kids grew up in the wilderness. All they've eaten their whole life is manna.
That's crazy.
And then when they went across the Jordan, they had grapes for the first time. Seriously, they had
mind-blowing.
Yeah. It was like, bro, you got to try these grapes. Like
it's like if a dog was like allowed to eat real food. It's not dog food.
But seriously, for 40 years, manna. They all grew up eating manna, and then boom. Yeah.
Like our dog, we have these like pretzel squares with like peanut butter filled on the inside. My dad will like give one to one of our dogs who absolutely loves peanut butter but hates pretzels, and he's just
he won't eat them?
He won't eat a pretzel.
And then he takes a bite out of it, and he's like, fine, it's a free snack. And he's like, oh,
Peanut.
Lego
He's like, why didn't you tell me sooner?
Our dog is similar. Peanut butter and cheese. Like the junky American sliced cheese, a little corner of that dog would probably learn to knit just to have a little taste of cheese. Loves cheese. Oh, my goodness. Cheese and peanut butter.
Did you say that dog would learn to knit? Where did that come from?
You know what I mean? She sits, she rolls, she does all this
Because
stuff.
she doesn't have thumbs.
So this is
That was
nothing
such
to
a
do with the
Southern
podcast, but every year there's Christmas lists. You have to have a Christmas list. And so one year I was being funny, so I gave a Christmas list for the dog, and the number one thing the dog had on her Christmas list was thumbs.
Nice. That's a good dad
What
joke.
dog would not want thumbs for Christmas?
We'd be unstoppable.
I want thumbs and a jar of peanut butter alone for 5 minutes. All right. Okay. I think we all, everybody shared. So Stevie, let's get an update on you. So you've thrown a couple things out there for us. So let's think back. Last time we had you on the podcast, not only we were in my office, a much smaller room, much cooler room. I'll let it go, Colby. I'll let it go. But there was you guys were living in a different place.
Yeah, we were still renting post Helene.
Was that before the fall as well?
No, we spoke with you post fall.
Oh,
It was quite a season.
Yeah.
The Lord
the Funks have been through
put us
it,
through.
huh?
But you know what? Being on the other side of it, I don't question any of it. I don't have to know all the intimate details as to why things happen, but I can see enough as to why they happened the way they did, and thankful for the lessons and the provisions and just the testimonies that he's been able to provide each one of us. Very thankful for it. But yeah, lots happened since we spoke last, and Stevie's homeschooling now too.
Tell us about that, Steve. You got to be careful now. I know your principal and your teacher is beside you, so don't get yourself in trouble. But how's that transition?
It was hard at first. Like I don't really get to hang out with my friends as much as I used to, but I do think it's a lot better than going to a regular school, because then, like, if you needed to take
It's just a phone.
Yeah, we'll be all right.
I'm like,
It's your principal calling.
Yeah. Wait, stop.
Well, you got more freedom now too, correct?
More
So
freedom.
it's
That's
So like
what
we
I was
took
doing.
like a 2-week-long spring break.
Nice.
You know, went and visited family in California and didn't really have to worry about.
and then I just get
The
up on school
details.
and
Now we just have more play dates and sleepovers, and
yeah.
you know,
nice.
we get to decide what the field trips are. Like this week, we're trying to go down. Have you heard about the new aquarium in Sarasota?
Have not.
Oh.
I think it's in Sarasota. I don't know, but she's doing it. We are doing an entire section in science on like the
Nice.
ocean and whatnot, and so
That's
I want
pretty
to
cool.
take her down there and go check it out.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. We a lot of freedom for your schedule and all that stuff, but also a better education, from what I understand as well, being homeschooled.
I agree.
You get to focus in on Stevie and the way she learns and all that stuff, and she's not just thrown in the classroom. So I'm sure
Yeah,
it's
there's
good.
been
Yeah.
a few times that I'm just like, you know what, let's just skip this part. We don't need to, you know.
Like,
Yeah.
I feel like in school, I always had, like, the things I needed more help on, they gave rarely any help on it. And then the things I didn't need help on, they're like, okay, now I'm going to show you how to do this. And I'm like, I got it.
I got it.
Mm-hmm.
But now I feel like we can,
Yeah, customized education.
yeah.
What's your favorite subject, just out of curiosity?
I think my favorite is probably history.
Wow.
I'm really into that sort of thing.
Like American history or just history overall?
This year we're focusing more on American history.
I think I lean more towards American history, but like that's why I love reading the Bible so much. Is it gives kind of background to how we would be sitting here today, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's
And
a
like,
history book.
It is.
yeah, it's basically a history book with information and help and all the things you
Oh
need
yeah,
in life.
it's alive and active,
Mhm.
right? And it is his story,
Yeah.
history. Yeah.
So,
It's everyone's in the Bible.
Kiersten, I'm going to put you on the spot just a little bit.
Okay.
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 If someone was watching or listening and they were considering homeschooling their child,
Mhm.
is there any advice you'd give them?
It's not as scary as you think it is.
Okay.
I over Googled it.
Over Googled.
Like, I thought for sure I was missing something, like, totally overthought it. I would say the first couple of weeks you really figure yourself out and figure out things, but you can't mess it up. Like, you really can't mess it up, and I wish we would have started sooner. It's been a huge blessing. I mean, I get to spend extra time with Stevie. It's a good thing we like each other.
Aw.
And no, it's been a huge blessing. Absolutely a huge blessing.
And like we were talking about, a lot more free time. And you can start whenever you like. Like, we start at like 9 o'clock and kind of just ease into
Yeah,
the
we're
day.
not yelling at each other,
No.
first thing in the morning.
We're
Our
not like,
shoes.
"Put your
and-
clothes on.
Where's your
Yeah.
shoes?
It's
Where's my lunch?
way more
Like,
way more calm.
every single morning I get to relax before starting school, even though it's kind of relaxing with homeschooling. Every morning I get up at 8:30 and watch cartoons for an hour, half an hour.
Nice.
good.
I like that. That was not like my school.
Patton, I mean, we're always talking about how dangerous 19 is.
Oh my
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel like I have to take my life into my hands every single day on the road, taking her to and from school.
Well,
So.
That's
not even
true.
just 19, but the schools and all
Yeah.
that stuff. There is a lot of
Yeah.
And I agree with the curriculum stuff. Like, there's a lot of stuff in the state's curriculum that's just filler.
It's just filler.
Filler and not necessary and kind of impractical thinking for a lot of the kids. And I don't think it really sets them up to, like, deal with the world.
It is, and we could totally go down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I mean, Ben and I have had these conversations countless times about the school system in America and in Florida and just how broken it is.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's public or private, or I mean, it's all shattered right now. And so, being able to have better control over that, the Lord gave us children to be stewards over for a short while, and just trying to do the best that we can. Homeschool's a great option.
Yeah, and I do want to say that we are very grateful as a church, as a society, for those Christians that are in the public school system that are teachers, because they're in a vital place. And so you start reading the history of the public school system and the reason for it, and there's some pretty eye-opening things in
Yeah.
there. And so I'm grateful, very grateful for those that have dedicated their lives to, they love the Lord and they're dedicated their lives to education and the students. And there's some names even now in my mind that are popping up
Yeah.
that are we're blessed to have them at Calvary Chapel Palm Harbor, but the children that they are able to minister to in the school system, it's a blessing. So we're grateful for that. But yeah, there's some. And then I also say this: when I did youth ministry, years ago, parents would come up and they would almost be in tears because they didn't have the option to homeschool, whether it was because
It
of work
is a
or whatever.
privilege, absolutely.
And they would feel guilty, and I was like, hey, there's some advantages to public school too. The advantage with public schools is when you come home at night, they're going to experience some stuff, and you get a chance to, at your table, you can talk through some of those things, and you can work through some of those things. And so, it's not for everybody. And homeschooling, honestly, is not for everybody as well. It depends on the
We have our days.
on the student
Yeah.
and on the principal. So
Me personally, I don't know if I could have gone through homeschooling with my
That's what
my
I said.
potential teacher.
That's what I said, and then I had guilty convictions, divine inspiration. The Lord's like, "You're gonna do this," and it was like, "All right, Captain."
Your parents are probably watching this and they're just,
She'd say the same thing too. But yeah,
As somebody who was homeschooled, like I don't necessarily think I'm like the smartest person in the room or anything like that. But
sorry, I shouldn't have laughed.
so, I mean, it's fair. Some of like that. I have some of those memories. Like I can still like smell this smell, and I'm like, man, that smells like second grade homeschooling. And like some of the field trips and those things, like
Yeah.
like those things do last a lifetime and stuff like that. And again, I had the privilege of being homeschooled.
like
I
I
wouldn't
see
trade it for the world.
when like it's dark in the room and I'm like, man, this reminds me of when they would always have the blinds closed in 3rd grade.
There you go.
I don't know why I always think of that when I go to bed.
and for those who are maybe thinking about homeschooling, we do have some pillars in the homeschool community that are in our church. I'm
Yeah,
thinking of
for
some ladies that are. So if you're interested, there's definitely some great resources, some great folks you can connect with here at the church if you're interested in homeschooling. Of course, Kiersten would always be open to talk about that as well.
The best that I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, hey, let's transition from school to Sunday school.
Nice.
Do you remember what they taught? So wait, I got 2 Sunday schools. So
Yeah,
I got,
you got a
I
teacher in the
teacher and a
midst.
pupil here. So Colby serves as is it the babies you do?
No, kindergarten through 2nd grade. They're young.
How
but
many youngins did you have in there?
10 of them.
10?
10, yeah.
You got backup, bro?
It was actually just me on Sunday. Luke wasn't there, so but it's just fine.
Hey, do you
I could handle double the
You
amount
did
of
a
those
really
kids.
good job
Thank you.
escorting them to the restroom.
I was gonna say, at that age, are they still messing their pants?
No, they're kindergarten and
He
second.
had them all in a line, waddling down the
Oh,
hallway.
I don't play with that stuff. I don't play with that stuff.
Hey, have you
What, the Dalton-
with
Dalton-
kids? It's like a gift. Like
I
honestly,
should know. I was with
that's
him.
right.
Yeah. Well, Steve, when I had Stevie in my class, she would help me rein all the children in. She was like the teacher assistant.
Yeah.
I have 3 older brothers. I know.
Yes.
How to escort
No, I know-
people out of the room.
I know Dalton. Dalton said I looked like a mama duck or something.
Yeah, he said Mother Goose.
Yeah,
and
Mother
I said Papa Goose.
He said like Mother Duck and he's like
Yes.
Goose.
So do they teach the same? Or is it like I know it's probably different because of the age, like it's adjusted, but is it the same? Like are
She
you-
definitely got a much deeper lesson than what I gave to the.
But it was the same topic. Like
I think so. You did Elijah and Elijah going up into the.
Yeah.
Yep. So it was
Elijah-
the same.
Elijah going into what?
The heaven.
Oh, on a fiery chariot.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
we what we mainly focused on was we got a little bit of everything. We mainly focused on Elijah, and we were mainly focused on 2 Kings 2 and 2 Kings 4.
Very nice.
I forget all the amazing things Elisha did. Like, I could be reading this wrong, but he brought a guy back to life.
One of them did that.
Yeah, that was Elisha. That was Shah. That was Shah. That was Shah. And he
I'm
also
horrible at that.
Sorry, he also.
When we get to heaven, I'm gonna be so embarrassed because they're gonna come up.
Elijah. There you go.
And they're gonna be
If you
they're gonna be
think-
standing beside
if
each
you-
other like
if
quizzing people.
Elisha is like all the nice, like, quiet stuff. Elijah's like, if you think of the sassy ones, that's Elijah.
Sassy one.
Like, oh, maybe your God's taking a poop on the toilet. I'm like, oh, I love that.
Don't say poop was-
Poop is fine. Poop
you
is
said it
fine. No, I what I got from it, obviously, like, for me with the kindergartners, I'm just trying to get them to retain something. Like, no, seriously, like what was Elijah? He was a prophet. And Elisha, he was a prophet. And then, like, trying to, and like my big application was obedience. And the fact that, Elisha, saw his buddy just get, he went to heaven on a chariot, and he just pressed right into action. He did exactly what the Lord told him. He was right there, and the Lord used him for amazing things, and amongst a pretty wicked time. So, that was my biggest application and also thing that I took. So,
we've joked around, like when we get to heaven, Stevie. We've joked around here on this podcast that we think it's going to be easy to see the prophets, like they're going to stand out from everybody else. They're not going to blend in well, Ezekiel and Elijah and Elisha, and Jeremiah, they're all kind of unique. John the Baptist, they're very unique. So, and I get them mixed up. Elisha went first or Elijah went first?
Elijah went,
Elijah.
yeah.
Elijah.
I think J comes before S in the alphabet.
Ooh, that's a good
Very
man. That's a good one.
That's a help. That's a great
That's
teacher right there.
homeschool. Homeschool hack.
I remember it because it probably doesn't help other people, but when they went to the river, the J went first and then the S. Because wasn't it the Jordan or whatever? Was it the Jordan that
Oh, boy.
Elijah?
Bible trivia on podcast.
On the spot.
So let's move on to the comments.
I don't think so. I don't know.
I don't know.
In the comments below, tell us what river it was in this story.
Please.
There you go. Well, for us in the main service, we had an amazing teaching by Pastor Brett on the tongue.
We had a full house on Sunday,
Oh
too.
my, these last couple weeks are packed. I'm excited for Easter coming
It's like
up.
I feel
too.
bad to be like, we should shuffle, but it's like, we probably should shuffle down.
Yeah, it looked like this is just my own. Did you see? It looks like security's actually helping people find seats now.
Oh, yeah. The funks were banished.
What do you mean?
to the
What do you mean?
couches.
Actually, they've been
Security was
doing that
trying
for
to help us
years.
in.
You got banished to the
No,
couches?
we walked in, and the funks take up a row.
You guys
a
have your own
solid
section,
row.
right.
We take up a whole
I was
section.
like, if you can find seats for, I will sit on somebody's lap
yeah,
for worship.
security was trying to be so helpful, and we were like, we're good. We'll park right here. We come to the couch.
I didn't know you guys had to sit on the couch.
What a blessing, though. It's that full.
I think I'm going to go back to this security team slander. They've been helping
I
people
wasn't slandering.
find seats for years, man. I mean, that's
Have
part of
they?
the job.
I didn't see that.
Wow.
Yeah,
Part
they're
of.
like undercover ushers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what are you thinking, Joel? You think you're gonna shuffle? You mean it's like, hey, if there's a seat beside
I mean,
you?
like, yeah, like that. They call it the Calvary Chapel Crunch or whatever. Like I've heard Calvary say that. But like, you just can't, So that person needs a little little
Buffer seat.
room between they need the Holy Spirit,
This is what I observe from my place, is that I observe that sometimes it's like, you ever fly with Southwest? Southwest, you don't get to pick your seat.
Don't fly with Delta. They put you on
Well, now you do.
10-hour delay in the Atlanta airport. Sorry. Bad memories.
Somebody's bitter.
I'm really bitter.
But like when you used to fly Southwest, I guess you don't do it now. You didn't get a seat, so you just got to, okay, you're going with this group of people. So you're walking on the plane and you're looking to find a seat. And so as you look at a seat, people are like,
They won't make eye contact.
that's what happens on Sunday morning. People are looking for chairs and they're like, oh, don't make eye contact. They'll see you.
Just got a seat between you and me.
Me and Mom just came back from a trip on our early spring break. We came back from a trip, and it's pretty off topic, but we were flying Southwest, and we landed, and we had a really funny pilot dude, and he was like, all right, if you have any good reviews, leave it at southwest.com. And if you have any bad reviews, we have a special one for that, and he spelled Spirit out. He was like, leave it at Spirit.com, and everybody laughed.
I think they took your joke.
That's
Leave email Pastor Brett. Yeah, that's
Pastor Brett.
that's a Pastor Ben classic.
So Pastor Brett, he steps up to the mic and he delivers this powerful sermon about the tongue, which is very convicting. And then at the end, I mean, I'm sure you guys all have your own, but for me, at the end, he was talking about not just what you say, but also what you hear. And he talked about not being easily offended. And he made that comment about we can't even get out of the parking lot. And it's true. Like, you don't even get out of the parking lot. And so multiple times on Sunday, I would get text messages. And one in particular, there's some stuff going on in my family. There's some family members. And this text came in, and it was an invitation to an argument. And so by God's grace, I was reminded of the message, and I was reminded of who I was, and I was reminded of what I hear Pastor Brett in my head, and I'm like, you know what, I just don't have to attend every argument that I'm invited to, so I don't think I'm going to attend this one. So by God's grace, I got the victory on that one, so it was good.
It's interesting. I kind of feel like every time someone talks to me, it's an invitation for an argument. Maybe that's me. No, I'm messing.
An invitation to an argument, an invitation to be offended.
I love that quote. I don't remember who it was, but the whole "you can't spill a drop of."
Oh, that was something else.
Yeah, like bad water. If you're full of good water.
Something about fresh water.
Yeah, like a fresh pitcher of water never has a drip of.
No matter how violently it's shaken. Never.
Oh, that is a good quote.
It's one of the like ladies from the 1900s, but I don't know.
She was like, didn't she? He said she was like bedridden or something.
Yeah.
At the end. Gosh, it was a great quote, Joel.
Said, yeah, no matter how much you shake a glass of sweet
Violently
water, it
shaken.
won't spill a bitter drop. Is that
Not
what he
one
said?
drop
Something like
of
that, yeah.
water.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But man, I mean, honestly, that tongue is just so. I mean, he's saying it, but how many times I can even now think of things I've said. I'm like, man, if I could just take that back. It's so.
Did you know that the word tongue appears about 21 times in Proverbs, depending on the translation?
That'd be a big bingo word.
That's a bingo word. We're putting that one on the placard.
Yeah.
I bet Proverbs is number 1 and James is number 2 in terms of use of the word tongue.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Stevie's got 3 things. What do I always tell you before we speak? 3 things we try to practice. Do you remember?
You don't talk enough, you should say.
Well, one of our pastors at Calvary Chapel, Carson Valley, said this, and so I'll give him credit for it, but I don't know if it's his. But I always remind myself and Stevie 3 things before you speak: is it true? Is it kind? And is it necessary?
Oh wow.
I always like to throw out the Carrie Saul quote that was used on me many a times when I was a kid: "Building up or tearing down."
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yep.
We inherited that one in our house too.
I think a lot of CCPH households
that
inherited that
for sure.
A lot of people got that one from their parents, which is a good one. It's a really good one. So simple but so effective.
Yeah. Well, and then so moving forward, after Easter, I'm assuming there'll be an Easter Passover or Palm Sunday, but then when we go back into James, it's the next passage is about wisdom from above and wisdom from
Another
above.
proverb word on my bingo card.
Yes.
Bingo. I
gotta
mean,
get
come
these
on.
bingo
That's,
cards made.
we could go big time.
What do you mean big time?
We make a lot of money. Slap the Calvary Chapel logo on it.
Stevie, do you understand what they're talking about? So, have you ever played bingo? Mm-hmm. And then on your bingo card, you would have like words from Proverbs, like I'm not going to say that word, but like wisdom and
Tongue.
tongue,
Talking about.
righteous, blessed, fool. What were the other ones we were talking?
Faith. I think faithfulness would be a good
A
one.
virtuous wife.
Yeah, and then there would be the other woman that I'm not going to say right now, that she would be on there too, because it seems like she's in there often, this other woman.
She's not good.
No,
She's
yeah,
not
bad
a-
news.
The lazy man.
The lazy man.
That one was in there today. That one always hits me. It's like,
The
come
lazy
on, man. I
What
didn't
a
need that
bum.
one today.
No, I'm telling you, man.
I'm seeing it more today than I have in the past. I'm starting to see it.
Dude, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
What would
That could be played at like every youth event ever. Think about that.
Proverbs Bingo.
Yeah,
It's not a real catchy name though.
we'll work
Proverbs
on it.
Bingo is not a seller.
We'll
Bible
think.
Bible bingo?
No, but it's only
That's probably
Proverbs.
copyright.
We'll work on this.
You really
Comment
are
down
thinking
below if you have a name for our Proverbs
Can't do that,
Bingo.
you're right.
We could make a little cartoon face of the Proverbs professor and put him on the box.
That's you.
He said no.
Proverbs proclamations.
Ooh.
Oh, all right, let's move on. So, any other closing comments or thoughts left over? I see, Kiersten, you got a couple of notes over there from the
No,
sermon.
I just wrote down some of the proverbs and
Oh, about the tongue.
just about the tongue.
He mentioned one of them. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. I believe that's a proverb as well, isn't it? Proverbs 18:21.
Yeah, the tongue has the power of life and death. 18:21. And I liked Proverbs 13:3. It says, "Those who guard their mouths preserve their lives."
Amen.
And they always talk about how strong the tongue is, how powerful it is. I mean, we think about it quite literally and figuratively. You know, the power behind the tongue. It's intimidating.
Yeah.
He mentioned that quote, which we grew up as kids too. We used to sing it, that sticks and stones may break our bones, but words will never. And that's so false. Words are so harsh and so hard.
Yeah.
So hard.
But because it's true.
I can still remember things that kids said to me in middle school, and that's like, how many, 3 decades ago or something like that?
Yeah. No, I was actually thinking about that quote too. I was like, that is, I don't know who came up with that, but
It's
that was
not
like
true.
not true at all.
It was like somebody who's really offended. They just had to say something. It's like, write that down. That was good. That's so true with text messages too. Though the tone of it, it's like you just got to be careful when you read a text message.
Same with
can't-
emails too. It's
You
like,
can't read them. Like,
no.
you can't.
That's
Seriously.
what I'm saying though. Like that is why like it is harder to be like communicate and be corrective and also like loving in a Christian than ever, because there's so many ways to communicate. There's so many invitations to argue, if you will, whether it's social media or someone you would never talk to in the first place. But it's just so much easier to hurt people with the tongue or be hurt by it. It's like it's even more important to kind of learn those lessons today.
Even in not responding. So just for an example, last week I got a text. Somebody had sent me a text, and I guess in the busyness I saw it and just forgot to respond to
I
it.
hate when they do that.
And then like a week later, hey, are you okay? Because I sent a text and you didn't respond. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I must have forgot
Yeah.
to respond. My apologies. You should listen to Pastor Rhett's message about not being offended.
It's hard not to.
I didn't
though.
say that,
Yeah.
but yeah.
I can also think of times when I was offended by words. And the sticks and the stones around me were not offending me. So
Hey, what's going on in Calvary Chapel coming up? We got a couple things coming up here. So we're recording on Tuesday, and so this Friday we have the Ladies Craft Fellowship. Hey, has the Funk Ladies ever made one of those craft fellowships?
We have not. It's something that I really need to push to do. I don't ever want to use like distance as like a
No, it is.
You know,
I know
deciding
you guys
factor,
are not
but
close.
So-
getting home late at night is
for
hard.
those,
Are you guys artistic?
yes, but for those who are watching and may not
Confident, too.
understand what is the women's craft thing,
You
Oh.
don't know what it is.
no.
Oh,
Oh, you didn't know?
good job.
When I said the women,
Just
the,
kidding.
the people listening, I meant me. I am technically listening.
Fill Stevie in on what this craft fellowship is.
It's, to be clear, it's craft, C-A-R-F-T, and they make things. So they I think they've
Not the
painted
other
signs. They've done. Here we go. You ready for this one? They've done decoupage.
Yeah.
Did I say it right?
Yeah.
I think it's decoupage.
I think it's
We'll take
deco.
it.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
What?
Alex.
I like decoupage. I'm with you on that
And-
one.
It's like a Paperwork.
It's paperwork.
Like
yeah.
paper-
Didn't they like paint on like rocks
painted
one time?
rocks.
Yeah.
They've done a whole bunch. So like once a month, the ladies get together, and I've seen pictures, and like half the ladies that are there, I don't even know who they are. They must be like friends that come or something like that. So
It looks fun, and it looks very creative.
yeah, it's a good drive for you.
I'm
guys.
in for that.
You are. Well, they're doing Wayfarer signs.
Oh,
We-
is that the one with? Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
With like
Like-
the arrows
Yeah,
that point
like
different.
Disney this way and
Tokyo
Oh,
that
okay.
way.
Tokyo that way.
Oh, I love those
I'm
signs.
so glad this is a women's event, not a men's event. This is not up my
What,
alley.
what would be a men's event that would be comparable to that? Like how to sharpen your chainsaw?
Like carving, like we're gonna carve a duck or something.
I mean, it's like playing pickleball or
Duck
something.
Dynasty.
pickleball.
Yeah. Kickball.
And then, so our podcast is coming out this week, and then we will not be back in the podcast booth for 2 weeks. And so, in between this podcast and the next podcast is Palm Sunday and Easter Sunday. So excited for that. That's 2 services on the books, 9 and 11 o'clock. And if you're listening to the podcast, if I were to encourage you which service to go to, I would encourage you to go to the 9 o'clock service.
Are you going to elaborate on that or
Nope.
just okay?
All right.
All right.
Which ones have childcare? Do they both?
9 o'clock service.
Okay.
Yeah, but I like it when the kids are in the service. I think it's fun. It's like how
I
Jesus
mean, that's
taught.
like the only difference.
They didn't have childcare. You never see like Peter was watching the kids or something, right? The kids were in the service, right? With Jesus,
Probably, yeah.
I think so.
running around. I mean, there's a kid with some loaves and fishes.
Yeah, they were just hanging
Chilling.
out.
It's
Yeah.
like, get a loaf crumb.
Yeah,
That's all I got.
they were participating, right? So Palm Sunday, communion, and then Good Friday. That Good Friday is one of my. It sounds weird to say, but it's one of my favorite services. It's a little more somber than the rest of them, but there's something about. We always rejoice over Easter Sunday and what the Lord's done, but to look back on the price that He paid,
It's good to remember.
it's heavy. It's heavy. What else, Joel? Is that it? As far as church?
Sunday we got youth kickball. I'm looking to keep
Oh,
my win
yeah.
streak going.
Name the teams again.
Death Metal Chickens and the Sweaty Yetis. Death Metal Chickens was the Gretch's Fitz back in the day, and Sweaty Yetis is Ethan. So I'll let him take the credit for that one.
Is that funny, Steve?
AI has gotten a lot better over the last couple of years. I was able to make logos this year.
Is that what was on the flyer?
Yeah,
that
I'm
was
pretty
impressive.
proud of them. Yeah,
That's
that's it.
very
I
impressive.
can't take the credit.
Hey,
So hey, AI is good for some things.
there is a lot of people, especially in the church, that will not use AI like it's from the devil. Like I listened to a pastor the other day, and he was like adamant, "I will not use AI."
But what if you need to make kickball logos?
Yeah, for real.
The important thing.
I will say this. I will openly confess this, that on one of the AI systems that I use Gemini just because it's convenient. It's there. I have a chat, and it's called. Don't worry about what it's called. Never mind. It's just so I know what it is. And in that chat, I told Gemini, when you answer these questions, this is where I want you to go. I want you to use Chuck Smith and blah, blah, blah. And I went through all these pastors. These are only where you'll go get that information.
That's
and then
a
when
good
I ask
idea.
a question,
Oh, yeah.
it comes up, and it's limited to those resources. And then sometimes because it's not a he or a she, it's an it will say, well, this other guy says this, this, and this. And sometimes the guy he pulls from, I'm like, oh, Warren Wiersbe. Well, we can add him to the list, too. He's a good guy. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then it always has those little clinks, so I can always verify, yeah, that's where you got it. And
Yep.
so what I have Chuck Smith commentaries, I have
I love this idea.
all that stuff, and I have all those people. So for me to pull those books out or to go listen to those sermons would take me like days, where Jim and I can do it in.
I have 3 custom GPTs that I use to help like organize thoughts and stuff, but
Yeah.
now I want to make a 4th one specifically for that.
Yeah. It's
Bible
great.
questions
It's,
and answers, or
That's
whatever you want to
genius.
call it.
it's,
I wouldn't say it's cheap,
it's a
No,
phenomenal.
I mean it's
good.
it's the technology is there.
but you're giving it guidelines.
Using
Yeah.
it correctly. It's a great
So I
search
use it like a resource.
optimization. Yeah, it's a
Always,
resource.
you
That's what
always
it is.
Check it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You always, yeah.
Yeah, you don't just blindly believe,
Yeah.
but it's a resource.
And then now, because I've done it for like a year or so, now it like knows, and it'll be like, oh yeah, by the way, last week you were asking about this. Well, look where this ties into this, and I'm like, oh,
That's crazy. Okay, I have a good question for the people at home.
well, we have the funk ladies here, so let's go over the question from last week.
Okay.
Joel, the question from last week.
If you were a household piece of furniture, what piece of furniture would you be?
Stevie.
Okay, I don't know if this is technically qualified as a piece of furniture, but I would want to be. This kind of sounds like, really. She's a girl, of course she would pick that. I would want to be like an art painting that you would hang.
Oh,
I think
That's
that's
awesome.
valid. That's
Yeah,
valid. I haven't heard that one yet.
painting. That's nice.
Yeah. Like the art paintings you would
Yeah.
hang by your TV or something like that in your living room. I just thought like that would be cool.
I love that.
Yeah, thank you.
Very classy.
I phoned a friend because I couldn't answer.
That's why I was
you
cracking
phone
up
Travis?
earlier.
Yeah.
That's why I was cracking up.
What did Travis say?
Travis said that I would be the kitchen table because I'm there for everybody.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
sweet.
That's a good. I think
That's why I was
what
cracking up before we
I think
started.
you did because you were at like fellowship or something like that.
I think that's what I said when we asked like 2 weeks ago, because I was the same way. It's like that's where everything happens, is at the kitchen table. That's where the kids get together when we hang out. And it took me like 30 years, no, seriously, like 20 years to realize that Miss Carrie, like I mean, you can get her flowers and all that stuff, but what she really, really loves is when all the kids are over and we're just sitting down hanging out.
Yeah.
That's what she loves.
I was not tuning in on the last podcast, so what were you three?
I don't remember what I said, to be honest with you.
I was trying to think about it, like I know when like my nieces and nephews are around, they like to like just like sit next to me and stuff like that. Like,
You said couch, right?
yeah, like
you
like
said couch.
because they like to like snuggle up on like my pot belly, so it's like I'd probably make a good couch.
Wow. I just
What did you say?
how do
Cole?
I follow up that?
You can't.
I don't.
You'd be
I-
the sports network.
Thank you, the TV because I never stopped talking.
Radio.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd be the TV. Always playing
That's a
the
good one.
sports
That's a good
network.
one.
Yeah.
The poor Ottoman. Everybody forgets about the Ottoman.
I was thinking ottoman,
He's like
but
the
I
uncle.
have to stick with what I said last time.
Ottoman's just
want
like
dirty
you don't.
shoes
Yeah,
on my
it's just
face.
your feet on.
You don't want people's feet on you?
Yeah.
No, that's the last thing I want.
Yeah.
That'd be sad. It's like I'm the ottoman. I always get kicked around or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like a Debbie Downer
People
answer.
trip over me in the middle of the night.
Sounds like a
Smash
personal
your
problem.
toe.
Oh, that
Some
dang
people don't even
ottoman.
have ottomans.
It's true.
We
Just have a coffee table
we
instead.
had
We have a coffee
ottomans. We had a few ottomans actually.
I'm impressed that you know what they are.
Yeah,
Nice.
of course I do.
So
That's the thing that impresses you. She just cross-referenced Second Kings and Luke
With
the
the
other.
king,
Yeah. the
I
Ottoman
stand
stuff.
corrected. Yes. Yes. Elijah, Elisha.
I'm
Okay,
like,
what's your question, Colby?
All right, mine's pretty simple. He talked about Easter. For the people at home, and you guys, I guess, what's your favorite Easter tradition that you guys have or have had in the past? I know I came up with the question. I don't really have a favorite one.
You guys don't have any traditions?
We're not hardcore Easter. Like, obviously, it's the greatest holiday of Jesus' resurrection. But the terms of, like, the day of Easter, we're not hardcore Easter celebrators.
Celebrators.
we aren't either. We do like the brunch with the family and stuff. But my favorite is my brother Cole's really into like filming and stuff, and like takes videos on his camera. And he took a video. I think this was in 21 before we moved here. But he took a video on Easter of like me and my little Easter egg hunt, and put like music to it and everything.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's like probably a 5-minute long.
Fun memory.
Is that a
Videos?
YouTube video, or
No, it's just a
It's
family
shareable.
photo. Yeah.
if you're comfortable sharing, you could share it. Maybe we'll drop it in the description if you guys are okay with it.
Or I have a better idea. You guys can all go up to Cole on
Ask
Sunday
Cole.
and ask Cole about it at church.
And then you
What
guys
ye-
may get to
what
see
is
how
the
cute
name?
I was.
What is the name they call them together?
Colton?
Colton.
Colton. Mhm.
You can ask Colton. They'll both
Cole, don't
respond.
spell
The
it.
Funk Bros.
Nobody knows who I am until I say Stevie or Dalton or Cole. Then they know exactly who I am.
Come on.
Brothers.
Come on. Those kids, those guys, those young men, sharp young men.
Yep.
I'm trying to think. So two things come to mind. So the first one that comes to mind is ham. I just like ham, and so there's always usually a ham at Easter. But secondly,
Thank you.
I think my favorite tradition is just the family. We always get together. The kids always get together. And again, this year we're gonna all get together. So I think we're going to my mother-in-law's this year. So
You'll probably have some Easter egg hunts in the next couple of years.
Ooh.
Yeah, I just think of like sweat. Like when you say Easter, all I think about is sweating. It's so hot out, and you're like just sweaty. And then
When you-
melted chocolate and eggs.
We never knew what a warm Easter was till we moved here. It was
Yeah,
always
when-
cold.
When you live in Nevada, it's kind of chilly, but other days it's
So
kind of
like
sunny.
we used to hide like the boiled Easter eggs that we would dye, and it was never an issue in Nevada because it was so cold outside, so they wouldn't spoil. Here, No
That ain't
way.
gonna happen.
Mm-mm.
Ugh.
No.
So
Rotted
they had to do
eggs.
plastic, but
Ooh.
yeah.
The plastic
did
ones are so
the-
much better. There's candy in them.
We
So the
did,
candy
we did
Melted
both.
candy.
Not the gummies.
Not the gummies.
The gummies would melt.
I mean, back in the day, we used to do some Easter egg
Gummies.
hunts, so that was fun. There'd usually be like $10 in each egg, and we kind of like make sure they were hid.
Oh,
for
that's
the
a great
grandkids.
question.
Mm.
Joel, did you grow up? Did you guys do Easter egg hunts?
Not like for me, but for like Ethan and Faith, and then the grandkids. Like they softened up. They were like Easter egg bad, and then they're like, Easter egg pretty good.
My parents were the same way, and actually, Carrie, they did all that stuff. So when we had kids, I'm like, "We're not doing it. It's from the devil." She goes, "We're doing Easter baskets." Okay. So we did Easter baskets.
You don't sound like that.
Thanks, Stevie.
You're welcome.
Did I sound like Miss Carrie though? No.
Nothing like her.
Ooh, that's the
How
one.
about
I have,
you?
I have
Good
a favorite
answer, good
Easter
answer.
story.
Oh,
It was a good lesson. It was
Unicorn
a,
flip flops.
no.
Oh.
It was a really good lesson when Stevie was maybe 3. We'd just given her an iPad, and there was this really cool children's Bible that also had an app.
Oh, I forgot.
Okay.
About this
So she could follow along in this children's Bible and then interact with a lot of these scenes on the app on our iPad, and it was really, really cool.
that is pretty
I got
cool.
to like press little buttons
Yeah.
and it would do
It was incredible. And so she's messing around with it, and she's going through all the Easter stuff, and she gets to the crucifixion, and they put Jesus in the tomb, and they close him up, and she just comes out of her bedroom just bawling.
Crying.
Just
Oh, wow.
bawling, crying. She's like, they killed Jesus. And I was like, but did you finish the story? And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, you got to get back in there. You got to finish the story. But it was such a good
Powerful.
lesson and
It was,
powerful
yeah.
of like the importance of reading the word all the way through and not skipping anything.
man.
It was a
I thought
good
you were
lesson.
going to say unicorn flip flops, but that has
No.
absolutely no
That was
lessons.
Stevie's favorite Easter basket item.
Unicorn flip flops.
Nice.
They weren't unicorn, they were mermaid, but I got these mermaid flip flops from them, and at the end of the video we were talking about, I get them out of the video, out of the box, and I'm like, oh, unicorn flip flops.
How cool was that?
It was the
Best day ever.
So funny. No traditions, no Easter egg hunting in your family?
I don't. We did
The
it like
offers?
off and on. We just didn't. We didn't have something that like
That's okay.
happened consistent. No, yeah.
Do you think you will when you?
Hopefully, yeah, yeah.
So as you were telling that story, I was reminded that I don't know if they're still around, but back when our kids were about Stevie's age, maybe a little younger, that was when those resurrection eggs were around. You could go to the Christian bookstore and you could get it was like a carton of eggs, but when you open it up, it had plastic eggs, and it had like some type of figurine or something in each. You guys are looking at me like you don't know what I'm talking about. So the first egg, you would open it up, and you told the story of the resurrection, but it started the first egg you opened up, and it was a donkey. And you would tell the story of Palm Sunday and Jesus riding in on a donkey. And there was like all these different eggs, and it got to the end, there was the cross. And then the last egg, the 12th egg, was empty because that's the empty tomb. And so
wow.
I remember sitting with the kids. We got them. I was so excited. All 3 of my kids, they were probably, they were younger than you, Stevie. They were probably like, I don't know, 6, 4, 2. I don't know. Emma was like still messing her pants. So they was younger. So we're sitting at the table, and I go through the whole thing, and I'm like, they're paying attention. Like all of them are like leaning in, like I'm doing all this stuff. And then as a teacher, you learn that. Now you tell me the story so you can see what they learned. So I went through this whole thing about the gospel and Jesus, and it starts with a donkey, and he goes in. And so I go, hey, Sam. Sorry. And I go to one of my kids, hey, Sam, why don't you tell the story? And he opens the egg, and he takes the donkey out, and he looks at me, and he goes, this donkey wanted to join the circus. And he starts telling his own little story. I'm like, oh, no, it didn't work. It didn't work at
I
all.
have when you said you guys are looking at me like you have no clue what I'm talking about, you got that right.
Oh.
We've been
I've never
looking
heard
at
it
you.
either.
No resurrection eggs?
No.
I don't even know if they're still
I
around.
vaguely remember it, but I don't think we ever did it.
That's cool. I like.
I'm
it.
going to find them on Amazon and put them in the link.
All right.
There you go.
Linking everything.
I don't think I've ever heard. I don't think I even knew there was a link below on the podcast until today.
I guess in Spotify you wouldn't see it, would you? Can
There
you?
should be a link in Spotify.
Can you?
There's a description on
I'm sure.
Spotify. There's a description on Spotify.
We did a podcast with Pastor Brett on discipleship, and there was a couple videos he asked me. I think there was a video, and I put the description in there. So we'll have to see.
You can do it on Spotify. I can confirm that with you.
What links? We're going to see if I can get the Stevie video, if possible. And then
The eggs, resurrection eggs. And while he's doing that, I will encourage you guys all at home to, if you're watching this video, whether it's on Spotify, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on our beautiful CCPH app, support us. Because, again, we don't really care who listens or not. We like to, have the interactions, but it's not that big of a deal to us. But, we are sharing the gospel, sharing our stories with the gospel through this podcast. And the more you like it, the more you subscribe, whatever you do with it, the more likely it is to show up on a random person's feed, and they click on it, and they can be blessed by the Lord's words going through us. So if you're already on the video, just hit. It's like you just gotta tap like 2 things. It's not that hard. And then again, I will encourage you guys, if you guys think you know somebody who maybe you think would like this podcast, share the video with them. Be like, hey, there's this really cool podcast with these really cool people, and then they had a really cool duo of guests this week. They're okay by themselves, but when they bring the guests on, it's amazing.
It's spectacular.
Share the video with a friend. Again, comment down below your favorite Easter tradition, and does anyone have any closing thoughts for the podcast?
I don't think we'll see you till after Easter. So invite some friends to church, whether our church or somewhere else. Just make sure people are going to church on Easter.
Amen. And Kiersten and Stevie, thanks for joining us. Always a pleasure to have you guys on the podcast.
Thank you for having us.
Just blessed the Funk family here at Calvary Chapel Palm Harbor. You guys are such a blessing. So,
and I do want to say as an ending note, if I can, I do love when I get to overhear this podcast, or I get to be on it, and even just like being at church with the people there. I just love everything about this church and their style and everything.
Yes.
We're very blessed to have.
You want to give any shout outs before we close out? Any shout outs to anybody in particular?
Daddy!
T-Funk!
T-Funk!
Yeah.
T-Funk, is that his name?
Yeah, that's his nickname.
T-Funk.
Also, my brothers, if they're watching, hello. And
No, thanks for having us.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And if you would like to watch, and right now you're listening, and you were like, man, I think I'd like to watch them. You can always go to our app, our website, and you can actually listen, and you can watch the video there on the app or on the website. So appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
bye.
Yada 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 bada bada booty gada lada bada bada booty bada bada booty 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 boo.